So yeah, let's go. We have about 4.5 hours, I think, until the actual top 8 gets started. And we have about 5.5 hours of group stage VOD to get through. I think it should be fine. Again, because, for example, of that 5.5 hours, like 13 minutes of it right here is just something we can skip through. I think a lot of the sort of intermediate portion, we can kind of just fly around here and be fine. So I think we should be more than good on time. I didn't watch nearly anything? Okay, perfect. Well, you're just like me. Yeah, I was out all day yesterday, so I was not able to actually get any of this. I am a little bit curious about the format here. So yeah, these are the groups, right? Gamera, Monarch, Xerom, Bepaw in one. Yeah, Bepaw got in through the LCQ, right, on Friday. And then, yeah, Space Toro, Zane Zippy, Fitizen, Koji, Skill, Elsa, Saki, Rialzo, Rookies, and Aaron. Okay, okay. So is this... How exactly is this going to work? Is it round robins and then just like top 2 scores make it out? Yeah, 2 gamers make it out.
One of the best parts about this group A, in my personal opinion, is
this is crazy. Like, maybe I don't want spoilers actually if someone knows what happened, because I'm like, who the fuck doesn't make it out of this group?
4 characters for 4 players because most of these have secondaries, right?
It's kind of wild to think that, you know, like Gamera might just not, he might just be dead right here.
I don't expect it to come out, but
Bepaw was looking kind of crazy on the ferry yesterday. I wonder if people, because the thing is too, I feel like people have been, like, these 15 guys have been prepping for everyone else, like, really, really thoroughly, right? You've known at this point for like, who's been qualified for a long time, but they might not have done as much, you know, ferry practice, especially post patch. Ferry's a rare character, but she got a lot better in the patch. Yeah, you got there's some like new like fuck shit you can do. It's curious. Okay, so I assume we'll see. We'll find out as we. Oh, this is cool, but I'm sorry. I do gotta go. the little, like, you know, the little graphics and stuff, that is actually super sick. But I am just gonna keep going, I think, for the sake of it. Monarch and Xerom. Okay. Fairy underdog? But I'm saying, like, maybe people are not, you know, maybe these fellas, they're not as prepped for Fairy as they are for all of the other characters in these pools, right? Maybe Fairy surprised, who knows? Yeah, I'm gonna maybe be a little more careful looking as the day goes on, especially. I'm gonna be a little bit more careful looking for messages in chat here, maybe. Once we get to the top 8, obviously, no, it's live. No one knows what's going on, but.
Tour finals, group stages for Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising.
So we'll see. Is this, if it's round robin? I'm not sure this is it's probably first to 3s, right? I know there was like 5 hours on the calendar for this, so we'll see. The LCQ was like first to 2 for a lot of it. I imagine that's not going to be the case here, but again, we will find out. I don't know, I didn't watch this yet. Well, welcome.
Jump over, no roll to get away, but the ultimate skill is going to knock Xerom back into the corner. That jump over has now become to Xerom's detriment.
Yeah, those, man, that 2 frames extra they gave Matera on the arrows, man. I mean, Monarch qualified on this character before she got probably, like, pretty significantly buffed, right? Because the 2 frame startup changes on all the arrows is really good. I think she got some other, like, specific character buffs, but I'm not sure that they were anything, like, gigantic. But also, the Brave counter changes and the counter hit DP changes, especially against a character like Charlotta, right? Matera in general is doing real good. She probably jumped like one of the bigger jumps in the game. Probably this character probably jumped like a tier and a half up or something like that. I think from last patch. Okay, sure. Good throw. Yeah, I mean, the chip looking a little scary right there. You can crouch, yeah, under those the high Matera arrows, right? That's what he was trying to go for, but when does top 8 start? Top 8 should start in 4.5 hours, basically. So we've got ample time, hopefully, to make it through these groups. Also, hi, Wall the Brick. Hello, Red. How you doing today? Oh, okay. Not a lot of reward off that throw bait right there. I'm not sure if, I guess Charlotta's probably best reward off that is to command grab you for throwing like that. That'd be that good shit. Or maybe she can combo off of the that little slash downwards if it's off the EX version. Matera surprisingly gets a lot off counter at close H also. Yeah. Today's the finals. Yep, we're watching the group stages right now because I was out all day yesterday playing Cyberpunk Reds with some friends, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But yes, the actual top 8 is gonna happen live at 5 p.m. my time. So again, in like 4.5 hours. It's gonna be 10 p.m. for me then. Goddamn. Godspeed. I don't know if you're staying up for that or what, but the finals, I will say, it's only I think supposed to take like 3 hours. So if you can stay up to, good check. Good old Matera Farrell. If you're willing to stay up to like 1 a.m., it shouldn't be that bad. I think the finals are supposed to start at 5 and end at 8. 3 hours for the top 8. That tracks. Shouldn't take too long.
To make it out of these group stages, but if we get a tie, you know, a couple gamers that make it 2-1 out of their group stages.
Okay, so yeah, this is the kind of stuff I'm gonna do to save myself some time. Watching the VODs, I can skip through this little these little intermediate parts. So we do have basically an hour of fats to cut out. 5.5 hour group stage VOD, 4.5 hours to kill. Matera Farrell, indeed. What's going on, Desley?
I mean, just as we mentioned the Nova strategy, it's already starting the wave of offense for Xerom, as Monarch is now trying to fight their way out. Yeah, again,
light DP, huh?
Range for that situation, so you don't have to worry about your Dragon Punch getting punished. That Holy Ladder is real nice now after the patch.
Got work because tomorrow's Monday. Got to wake up 6 a.m. Ah, shit. Hey, I mean, you know, you can always watch the VOD after, I suppose.
As soon as the butterfly is next to him, so it doesn't have to deal with that type of block streak. And
understandable. Have a nice day. Yeah, so that confirmed off what, crouching counter hit right there. I wonder if it's either or if you need both to actually get something off of that. Because obviously, you know, you get the +1 frame of block stun when you hit someone crouching, and then also a counter hit gives you, depending on the move, but a lot more. The BSG matches were insane in the LCQ. Yeah, man. Dude is absolutely cooking. It's a damn shame. I'm Bepaw earned every inch of that, but I was definitely pulling for the big body.
That's the nice part about having a dash macro, right? Is you can react to that sort of thing.
What's going on, DX? How you doing? Sure.
Yeah, trying to use these crossovers and
yeah, the butterflies just because like you want to roll through Matera's arrows, right? And it's very easy to do so. They're a lot more reactable than something like you know, fairies normals, since the arrows, you know, they have to fly over to you and stuff like that. But that butterfly just makes it so difficult, man. Because if you get caught rolling through that, you get caught by the pillar, you take like fucking 8K in the mid screen. I just don't want to do that. I'm not interested.
Another 2 rounds, very quick. And hey, look, that shows like sometimes you just have to take some time, reassess your mental notes.
Gotta look for the intersection. Yeah. But it's like a fundamental difference between like the reason that the butterflies need to be that good is like otherwise Matera in a game would like roll and all, like Matera like doesn't have zoning, right, without the butterflies. It's straight up like it would be so incredibly easy to just get through everything she does basically if she couldn't do this right here, right? Matera's can call that out as layer 2, yeah. Ooh, okay, nice. Confirmed. Why is it called Arc World Tour 2024? Oh, is it? Actually, I mean, it was happening all over the course of 2024. The finals are happening in 2025, but am I just dumb or something? Did I get the wrong fucking logo? Is this Arc World Tour 2025? I'm not sure. But like most of the tour, to be fair, happened in 2024, right? The tournaments and all the platinum events and all of that, like 95% of it was in 2024. So if it is, that could be why. Officially called 2024, yeah. Again, like, you know, most of it happened in 2024. Mr. Ladrillo, brick in Spanish sounds funny. I think about it. That's why people say that to me sometimes. Okay. I did not know what that meant. Fairness is a bit confused. In the VODs, it's 2024. Well, there you go. Makes sense. Yeah. Shot a lot of U-ball punishable. Mostly in the corner, but because there's less pushback there. A lot of U skills are like that, right? Where they're like -4 or -6 or something like that. But it doesn't really matter until you get them to the corner. There are a lot that are just punishable in the mid screen, like a Grimnir Bionic Arm or something. But is a New Year's Eve party a 31st event or a January 1st event? I think it's a 31st event, man. Right? I feel like. Oh, okay. So it's first to 2 round robin, I suppose. Then, okay, gotcha. That makes sense. So probably I assume like everyone fights everyone in the groups, and then again, like the top 2 best scorers are the ones who make it out. That tracks to me. Oh, we're gonna be fine. Yeah, we got a lot of time to cleave out of this. That's good. I wonder who Gamera plays into Fairy. I mean, I would imagine Beatrix, not. No, he played Versuja. Interesting. Oh, I guess it's kind of hard to fuck with Versuja on any kind of zoning with her pulling out the pillar and stuff like that. I can see the yeah, I can see the vision on that. That makes sense.
Get grabbed, comma, nerd.
You don't want to be called a ladrillo in Spanish? Oh boy. What does it mean? Also, elbow FGC. Thanks for the follow, man.
A cosmic level threat. Number Evo champion having some of the pitches. Now you got to remember, Gamera is an Evo champion.
I mean, supposedly, if Gamera, obviously, like if Gamera, you know, truly believes that Beatrix was weakened by guard cancels, you know, he's just gonna be playing all Versuja. Because like Versuja is, you know, of a similar power level, and you know, post patch anyway. What's going on, Bond? There's some heartbreakers in the Strive bracket because of how the points worked. Interesting. How? I guess I did kind of skip through the little opening gambit. How do the points work? Is it based on like wins and differentials and stuff like that? Or people were crashing out about Arc World Tour yesterday? Well, we're gonna find out why. I know nothing about anything. I know nothing about who qualified. Like, to me, I literally avoided all news about this. Master hit before Arc World Tour Finals. Shit feels good. Nice. I got rank 13. Got to top 8. So true. Yeah, I mean, Strive. So all that. Feel free. I'm not really too invested. But here, I'm going to try and be a little careful about not getting spoiled by chat where possible. Nice, Jimmy.
That OS of being able to do crouch light piano directly into the
it literally means brick, but also is synonymous for slow, dense, or clumsy. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could argue like a similar thing for English as well, right? People will say like dumb as bricks or stuff like that, or like made of bricks to describe someone being like stupid. That's not that bad. I thought it was like, you know, like a racial slur or something like that. I'm totally okay being called like something that could be synonymous with dumb. I'm okay being called dumb, man. That's fine. Good morning, Brick. Hi, chat. What's going on, Jix? The point system was straight Robert. So how are I assume the point system works the same for all of the groups, right?
You mentioned it on before. Doesn't even want to allow the refund of meter.
Exactly.
Okay, side swap.
All right, now up against the corner here, Bepaw still lost so much health.
Gamera on the Fedial color, so true.
He's gonna be able to get that charge right back though off the 5U. Gonna stop GG in the tracks. Very smart usage of the projectile.
Ooh, 2U. Got that.
Not able to aggress off of the plus range with that 5U install. Instead, it's the BC out. Gamera.
Maybe I should go figure out how the points work.
Enough BC on this character in particular because, you know, having all that health.
I'm not sure I want to look at chat that often for a while. You guys might be talking to yourselves, talking amongst yourselves for most of today, or not most of it, but, you know, until we get to the finals at least. It just, man, the damage Fairy does, especially once you get up to characters with a little bit more health, right? You gotta hit this Versuja motherfucker so many times, man. Okay, Fairy shimmy. And she's still not dead. She's still not dead. That's insane. Oh my god. She's still not dead. He hit her like 7 times. That's crazy. That is so unfortunate, man. After this, I might go back real quick and just see if they explain how exactly the point system works at the start. Again, we'll have some extra time here. That drop was sad. I mean, again, kind of like we were talking about with the LCQ, but in a way, even more so now, right? Expect drops. Expect people to fuck up their BMBs. Expect just everything to go wrong. This is the most high stakes Grand Blue Rising that we've ever seen so far, right? This is it. This is what, like, since the game has released, right? All of those tournaments, all those qualifications, it's all been for this. So, yeah, apologies if I neglect you like a bad father today, chat. I am like relatively invested in this. I don't want, you know, someone who to accidentally be like, "Yo, bro, I can't believe that I can't believe that Saki ripped Aaron Damac in half on stream and then drank his blood." Like, I don't, if that happens, cool. I mean, I got nothing against Aaron, obviously. I just say, like, you know, if that happens, whatever. I just don't want to know that it happens ahead of time. Oh, dude, this is the damage differential in this matchup too is crazy, right? Fairy has to hit Versuja like 6 times on average or something like that to kill her, and Versuja is gonna be like just absolutely handing out 2 touches, man. It's so sad. Look at this. Look at this, man. That's like 5 Fairy combos. And like H-Pillar can actually deal with Fairy just kind of standing there and zoning pretty well too, right? Yeah, like, what do you do about the pillars there? Like, I feel like Fairy, I mean, obviously, like, there's answers, but it's gonna be tough. Yeah, just apologizing to you in advance for probably not looking at chat too much until we get to 5.
She doesn't have to do EX and have it be instantaneous. It could be the medium version and have it be slower.
Exactly. No, good assessment from Gamera as well, right? That Bepaw's reactions have been so good, you have to use them against the player and make them slow down a little bit on that mental stack.
That's a good point, actually, yeah. Using the slower pillar. That's like something you really only see as like players start getting really good, but yeah. Like, using slower options to bait out people who just insta-spot dodge because they're that cracked. Oh, okay. Little instant overhead.
I love the delay in the detonation as well. Bepaw putting in the second 50-50 before Gamera even thought he had to guess the spot.
That he didn't punish that. Oh god damn. Okay.
A diamond down the drain for both sides.
No punish for Gamera right there is abysmal because that would have been corner pressure.
Abysmal. I mean, yeah, true.
Lucky stars, especially considering this is full conversion here.
Not dead. Okay, sure.
-2 and forgot all about it.
Yeah.
We've been seeing so much confidence in the IBs on these GG detonations just to get the meter. Now we're seeing the nerves coming out from Gamera just trying to stay alive.
Okay, sure. Bepaw still alive,
Yeah,
still in it.
I mean, luckily for Bepaw, Gamera with the input error got the jump L when was most likely trying to do pillar or something there instead. And Bepaw capitalizing it, and it's just starting to capitalize off of so much as well.
That's like the H and Itya into the pillar right there. That's like a full Fairy like overhead 50-50 combo without the super, right?
Yeah, it reminds me of other Arxis games and other Arxis characters.
Yep.
But Susanoo is not present this time. It is Versusia.
Exactly. All right, but we're blazing blue with the ultimate pirouette. Now we got the 50-50.
Maybe that'll be a good nerf for Versusia. Make her have to unlock her moveset as the fucking thing goes on like Susanoo. She only gets access to like all 4 specials once she gets to Blade level 5. Oh, nice low. Oh, alright.
This might be the group where we're
So if I had to guess, I assume it's something about I mean, I know like Capcom Cup, for example, they do win-loss ratio and then match differential, right? But I don't know. We'll see. Again, hopefully I can go back to the start of this VOD and then figure out what the system is.
Means so much when, you know, the difference between qualifying and not making it out of your group could be just 1 game.
Yes, and I mean,
okay, so game differential matters in some way. Maybe it's like just per game you've won. You might just get points per game you win. Again, I'll go back to this. I probably should have done that at the beginning, but I was trying to kind of get to the first match, rushing through a little bit. Oh, my chest hurts. That's annoying. I got like heartburn or something. How do I got heartburn, man? I didn't even eat or drink anything.
Normally it's a 5L. Yeah. But not the case this time. Gamera's going to be able to get in with a full conversion on
my gods. Welcome to the corner, Farathan.
Here for them as well.
Yeah, just dashing out of the gates, off to the races, has the 5U install as well. Waited out his plus frames off of any of these EX specials.
Sure.
Really at a range of the 2M as well.
Yeah, and that's happened twice now.
Does Bepaw like reverse this? That'd be cool. Reverse 2-0. I think it'd be nice for Bepaw to do really well, right? To be coming in through the LCQ. I mean, right now it looks like they're probably they're not dead on the bright side. Yeah. Yeah, ending in those U skills, right? It's the same reason that a lot of Able combos do so much goddamn damage. Again. But yeah, U skills have a minimum scaling on them, just like supers, right? 40%. It's heavily reduced from that if you cancel into them, but if you hit them raw like that, 40% of their already quite high base damage. So a very good way if you can end a combo in a raw U skill. It'll pretty much always be your highest damage outside of ending in SBA or SSBA. Because supers can do minimum 50% damage, and will pretty much always have a higher base damage to begin with than any other move, right? Most supers doing like 4K, 4500. I mean, if you're hitting it raw, 4400, 4950 if you're doing technical input, which obviously all these fellows would be. And then SSBA is doing like somewhere between, you know, 6600 and 6824. So, oh, a little too early on the throw, sure. Is that how you say his name? Gamera? That makes sense, honestly. If I'm thinking about pronouncing the actual like Japanese characters in that shit. Well, he just said Gamera and Gamera back to back. Bro's code switch. Okay, so hold on, real quick, just like real quick. Is there any like in-depth explanation at the start here of how this works?
Yes, you're gonna look at the group draws.
Group draw.
We found out who was getting that last spot in group, but man, you look at all 4 of these group players.
Exactly. There is no easy group, but of course we're going to be taking you through that Group A action. Gamera
hold on.
Can make it out, so
looks like no. Well, once I guess when they show us how the first group was decided.
The whole time, but it's there. It exists.
Everyone's got a pocket in a little bit. Of course, Gamera with the Bersucia in the pocket.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I suppose when the first group is like over and they show us how like who got out and who didn't, we can understand it from there. That's fine. Let me continue moving right along here just so we can make sure we get through the whole group stage before it's a round robin. This makes sense. So Bepaw versus Monarch. Yeah, again, sorry if I'm not looking at chat right now. I'm very wary of spoilers.
Unless there's, an arrow behind it or some way to do it safely.
I like didn't read anything on my fucking Discord yesterday either. I wanna experience this fresh, raw, farm grown, just like Mama used to make. Let me keep going forward here. Again, we have. I think we're like basically already probably good on time, but I'll keep skipping through the intermediary periods here.
This could shake things up for Monarch.
Yeah, could we even it back up here on Bepaw's side, or do we dig our lead even further? Playing it super slow off the H arrows. Bepaw.
This matchup seems really interesting. I mean, we talked yesterday. I think it was Vikala Fairy, and it was about how like Fairy has the zoning advantage in that matchup at most ranges. I feel like it kind of flips around here, right? I mean, like, yeah, like especially with Matera's arrow. Matera's arrows are like about as fast as Fairy's normals with the buffs now, man. Like the startup. They're like 12 frame startup and like 10 frame startup and shit like that. Maybe not 10, but like they're about again they are in the rough speed of like Fairy's far M, Fairy's far H. So it's not like it's Fairy has these way faster buttons or something. Obviously, Matera's arrows are fully disjointed as well, right? So if you shoot an arrow and you smack your whip into it, right, Fairy is going to take damage there, and Matera won't. So this actually, I wonder if this is like a genuine matchup where Fairy has to play like a rushdown character, right? Like there's no way you can actually deal with Matera's zoning right here.
I definitely thought it was close age.
Right now, I guess we're on track for it to be Monarch and Gamera who make it out of this, right? Gamera?
Yeah. The nice thing, it goes under the high arrow, but the bad thing, it goes under the high arrow, right? So you might just get sniped out either way.
The good thing, it goes under the high arrow, but the bad thing, it goes under the high arrow. Nice.
You are not as comfy as you'd like to be.
Yeah, I honestly would give the edge to Matera in that regard.
Oh, yeah, I mean, again, once Fairy gets on top of her, Matera does not have a lot of super good ways to get out of the mix, right? With the Hell Rat, but I just don't know how often Fairy gets on top of her, honestly. It kind of this does kind of feel like it just forces Fairy to play a game that she is not comfortable with, right? Fairy is not, believe it or not exactly designed to be a rushdown character. So, almost took a glance at chat there habitually, but I'm gonna ignore you guys. I'm sorry. Abusive father. I guess it's absentee father. I guess if you can land one of these Gespensts, right, that brings you up close and personal right away, which I mean, probably would be where Fairy starts to have a little bit of a better time.
It just completely changed the tide off of one anti-air.
Yup, from east to west coast, you want to be in that mid-best mid-screen, but finally the snipe out, the counter hit.
Where did all of his health go? Did I skip? Huh?
Yeah, wants to spot that.
Oh yeah, it was off the.
Ball.
My God, yeah.
All the way back
Off
to
the anti-air and then the throw. I like genuinely, I was like, for a sec, I thought my brain like turned off for a second. I looked up and I was like, why is Bepaw almost dead? I thought he was having a good round. But yes, okay.
Yep, back on the West Coast.
Butterfly, yeah.
But yeah, again, with that,
Because like if you have to block that basically, but if you block it, you're gonna get put on chip distance. And I mean, obviously not a great time to be against Matera, right?
have the corner.
Exactly. Back up against the wall, but with such a high health lead and the meter as well, right? Lots to scramble out with now set point Monarch.
Yeah, so again, 2 O's here have to be better than 2 1s, right? Because you're, I presumably, oh, whoa. Yeah, presumably you are depriving points from your opponent. What the? So true. Ah, sure. Wall bounce off the U arrow.
Yeah, I just realized ultimate lower arrow goes under 5H. I actually didn't know that.
Damn.
The 6XLs, the pressure right there from Monarch
Just
was
stuck,
insane.
right?
Remember,
I do want to. She can. I know they changed this, so she can have her U arrow out on the screen, even if she already has a projectile out, right? Matera gets to break that rule. The only person who gets to break that rule. I think so, right? So I wonder if she can, like, if she hits you with like an arrow, can she then use U arrow to wall bounce and combo off it, right? Get a better hit confirm. I thought that was the thing.
Something you mentioned in the previous. Yes, yeah. So it is
Ah, okay. So
going to be.
how does this work? Game percentage. Oh. So there. It's by game percentage. Interesting. Wait, but why then is like Gamera above Monarch here somehow? Because Monarch right now has won a larger percentage of their games, right?
Is it even possible mathematically? I'd have to do a little bit of check.
Okay, hold on. Let me listen to them talk about this, because maybe they'll explain how the scoring system works a little bit more here.
Yes, yeah. So it is going to be. It's going to be weird. Is it even possible mathematically? I'd have to do a little bit of checking here after this, but it is going to be very difficult for Bepaw, if anything, right? Gamera and Monarch obviously currently in the lead, with Monarch being in exceptionally, because Gamera hasn't even played Xerom yet, which will be our next match. Xerom could, make it so that Monarch has this on lock. Xerom might not be able to. It just really depends. And then we haven't even gotten to the territory of like Gamera playing Monarch, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I assume it's just even though it was shown there, like like Gamera would have been in first, right? I assume that's just because he hasn't played most of his games yet.
Yes. And so
I presume that essentially.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. One person goes to winner, one person goes to loser. I assume it's just by win percent then?
Because, you're watching from Group B or whatever, and you're like, oh, I don't want Xerom to make it, right? If Xerom can still make it from losers, Xerom can still make it winners depending on how this goes, right?
Exactly.
So
right,
it's
okay.
Like, you're not safe because there's 2 people coming out of this group no matter what.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so presumably the person, the graphic was a little bit confusing there, but presumably the person with the highest win percentage goes in through winners. The person with the second highest win percentage goes in through losers, right?
At this point, even worldwide. Now, don't get me wrong. There's absolutely other Charlottas.
Yes.
But when you think top-level Charlotta player, it's that one.
Exactly. He is the NA Charlotta rep. Of course,
oh, for sure, yeah.
In his footsteps, but, still fighting for his life. Now, I wonder...
Xerom is Charlotta in this game, man.
The Beatrix on the button check, and now locking it in immediately.
Beatrix, okay.
And
Hurt more than other characters by the weakening of guard cancels?
Xerom.
It's kind of weird. I explicitly remember when I was watching Side Games Cup, I remember I was being like, hey, this Gamera guy like doesn't brave counter. What's up with that?
Alright, immediately
maybe it was just the one tournament though, so it might have just been like an exception.
Yeah, Gamera looking real.
Ooh, late DP gonna whiff, sure.
Now there's gonna be a conversion off of this one, which means it's corner time for Xerom.
Yeah, the whiff on the end here is so rough. You got
2U into the ball into 6-6H. Always fun when you can fit like a 6-6H in a combo, right? Instead of as like as an opener. There's a couple of times where Ladiva can do stuff like that too. It's usually a very nice little. Well, for her, usually only at like the end is where it's worthwhile doing. But
yeah, exactly. LDP.
aerial 6-6H wall bounces, and then you can catch them with SSBA a lot of the times if you get the heights correct.
The H riding free, but it's not quite enough for a wall bounce.
And I don't think Gamera cares. The corner situation is always going to be good no matter what fighting game you're playing. The Grand Blue Zone activated now.
Oh, preemptive, brave counter,
It
makes me feel good. It does.
Yeah, the Skybound Dart. Beatrix known for
Well, to be
that
fair, I think it's
damage
less so
output, right?
preemptive, but there is like,
And for
I guess somewhat of an OS going on there, right?
first round here for
With the
Gamera.
delayed Brave
Xerom
counter,
may
but
have had the
same
start of that
idea.
round, but Gamera closed
I
it.
would still describe that as preemptive, since you could very easily get fucked for it.
To stop Gamera being a little greedy on those plus frames.
Yeah, I like it, right? If your opponent is not
Makes me
using
feel better about
this frame,
how
it's
often I
fair
sometimes
game.
get caught
Yeah.
doing that
Let's
shit.
keep checking
To see
them,
much
right?
better players also struggling with the same
Greedy,
thing.
but still the H Thunderbird to bring you into the corner. Lots of damage cashed out here for Gamera.
Got the combo limit on deck right now. Hasn't even
Oh,
needed
jeez.
Delta Clock whatsoever. No
Yeah,
command
right?
grabs, nothing. And that makes you think, when does that command grab come out, right? Saving
Yeah.
it for a rainy day. Oh, the dash out.
No conversion
there.
off the 6XL, goddamn.
I mean, Xerom's gonna take that all
Also, the
way.
Japanese
They
voices
the
are
one to convert
fun.
off
I don't
that.
hear them that often.
Didn't believe in
So
the
here
combo,
Shaw just go like,
left the
"Eat that!"
carry on the table,
when
has
she
to
gets
fight
hit.
your way back
It's
out of
it's
this
very
West
cute.
Coast side.
Okay, dash out, full conversion right
Ooh,
there. Yeah,
nice.
You're almost never going to get anything substantial off that, but
Yeah.
you should still take what you can get. No BP on anyone's side. The
Uh-oh.
break points are all
Uh-oh.
gone. Full conversion
Uh-oh.
here.
Yeah, he's got
This
clock
Delta
too.
Clock,
Nice
that's
and
gonna be the
easy.
finish right there, especially because the BP was gone. Gamera with the first game.
Exactly.
It's looking like Gamera Monarch right now, right?
Have been stabilized now.
I mean, you could do some math at this point, right? Like,
go for a far leg conversion. I know it's gonna
so he's at 1-0 for 3 right now. So Xerom's at 25%,
So close to
and Gamera is what 3-1. So he's at 75%. Monarch at 80% with what's it called? With 2 sets still to play, and 3 sets still to play for Gamera.
Worried about the new situation of rock paper scissors. Where the
Or no, I guess
opponent,
you can't play yourself.
Exactly.
Never mind. Yeah, so 1 set left to play for Gamera, for Monarch, and 2 for
So
Gamera.
they had to keep either using Invincible
I'm a silly
Option
boy.
or their fastest option.
Exactly.
Sure.
Not too much damage taken off of it though. Still scrambling for
Let's
position
take
in the
like
mid
just
screen.
a
Xerom
just
finds
the smallest slightest peek at chat. Wouldn't that be fun? You guys aren't saying anything spoilery, are you?
Unfortunately, Nova Strategy is going to put them in the corner, but Gamera
You guys wouldn't say anything that would spoil the group
stage
stages for me, would you?
Yeah, the down back row of our time. A couple IBs just to make sure we're at that 100-meter threshold.
Okay.
There's a
Scooped up the
fireball.
corner once again.
Yeah, this is going to be the pressure that you kind of have to know how to get around, right? Like an ultimate.
I took the quick little glance. Whoever has the highest percentage just goes next to understanding. It's mainly just about game percent. Yes. That's so as far as I know. It seems that way. Yeah. Just whoever, if you have a higher win percentage in your games, I assume number 1 in the group after the round robin's over goes through winners, and number 2 goes to losers. And obviously 3 and 4 unfortunately get sent home.
Basketball bombo, even after the H riding free, still had enough for one more U skill, but didn't even need it to put himself on set point.
All right. See again, gives like it actually does matter if you 2-0 or if you 2-1, right? You really want a 2-0.
But taking to the skies instead on your own terms, the EX Noble strategy going right over the round.
No sir, we're good beans. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm still not going to look very often, but you know, I gotta, you know, I'll take a glance at Twitch chat every now and then.
Gamera getting hit.
Clean bounce here for Xerom. LDP Ender.
Sure.
Looking for the whip on the sweep. No brave counter baited out. Instead, it's the ultimate Thunderbird.
Yeah. Ultimate Thunderbird.
So how many games is every person gonna play here? Like, what are the possible? Everyone's gonna play 3 best of 2s.
Later than Gamera might need.
So you'll play somewhere between 6 to 9 games.
To refresh that Delta Clock timer.
Yeah, this is the character known for comebacks. It's still
Yes, there's a lot of
especially
possible
the fact,
percentages, I
remember,
guess.
Xerom
Yeah.
has no
Never
BP
mind.
to his name. That is additional damage on the table for Beatrix here.
Dude, this
on
is
every
the
single
one
hit.
touch
Look
of
how
one
much damage
touches.
the throw did.
Oh,
Excellent right
nice
there from
stuff.
Xerom.
Listen,
You're not gonna
honestly,
catch me sleeping.
Waiting for the reaction check.
respect for Gamera. You gotta throw that kind of shit out sometimes. Obviously reactable, but you gotta heat check people sometimes. But Xerom was very awake. So true.
Yes, Gamera looking to
Father
be
Brick, we've
on
never
the
seen in
Monarch
these
zone,
hallowed
really.
halls. I appreciate it.
In terms of points for this group stage, going to get the full conversion.
However,
on
you
this
know,
one.
unfortunately,
Now
this kind of
the
stuff
overhead,
is
yeah,
an
the
information
overhead
hazard.
hasn't exactly been presented so much in terms of offense.
So I'm still going to be a little overcautious, probably.
Exactly.
At least until we get like a little bit further in, you know.
Walk back, walk forward,
Like if I've watched like 3 of the groups, you know, what are the odds that someone spoils the exact group I'm watching?
Not know what to do
Thoughts?
about these dashing L situations. Oh no, that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Gamera
Yeah,
with
so that
the
2-0
perfect
really
start
big
it
for. So
and
they're
the
both
perfect to end it.
him and Monarch both on 4-1 right now, right?
Alrighty.
Oh, controller issues?
Games up here for Gamera.
No. Oh fuck.
see.
Yeah.
Quick little check here for Xerom.
It looks like Xerom may have had something wrong with the controller.
Oh no.
Match, right? Or not mid-match, but
Bro.
in between matches, right?
Yeah.
There's no shot.
Gamera is going to be defeating Xerom. So now we have 2 undefeated.
Bro, imagine your
players.
controller fucking
This is starting
goes
to
on the
look
fritz.
real
Arc
good
World
for
Tour
both
Finals?
players.
That's when it decided?
Backing it
That's
up
when it decided to
compared
fuck. He let me down like that?
side. But
Yeah.
a lot of the players.
That's so sad.
Vote.
That was
PlayStation Player of the Day. Ooh, okay. I mean, at this point, so Xerom is he was at 1-2 and now he's at 1-4. So yeah, him and Bepaw, I think, are both at 20% win rate. These guys are both at 80% win rate. I'm not. Maybe it's still possible if.
One of the most winning players in terms of big stage matches.
Yeah, I guess one of because Monarch has or Bepaw has not played Xerom yet, right? So one of them would have to 2-0 the other, and then one of these guys would have to lose this.
Exactly. If
0-2?
is the winning son, Gamera is the winningest. So,
That's 4-3, and that's 3-2. Still doesn't quite do it, right? Because 3-2 puts you to. No, it'd be 3-4. Yeah, what the hell is 3 over 7? It's like 30. It's 42%. Yeah. It's 14% roughly 1 over 7. Right. So it's 42% is 3 over 7. Bro, I'm too stupid to do this math right now. And then hold on. What did I say earlier? 4-3? 4-3. Oh no, yeah, 4-3 is just better. Yeah, so I think at this point it might be, unless I'm forgetting how the sets work, it might be mathematically impossible for it to be anyone but Gamera and Monarch here. Because this is their last set, right? Like they've played the other two. Both of them have played the other two. So Gamera and Monarch, they're both at 4-1. The worst any of them could do is 4-3, and the best that Bepaw or Xerom could do is 3-4, I think. We'll see. Let me stop pondering the orb and start watching the match.
And because Gamera is so well versed in this game, switching characters does not seem to be a problem for him.
Yep. Couple ladies in red fighting for the mid-screen dominance. The whip on the L riding free.
Beatrix versus Matera makes sense here.
Yeah, and I mean,
using it over Versuja.
Do not see a lot considering how punishable it is and how bad it can be. But you know, if you're a Matera player, you better know how to space that.
Exactly.
Sure.
Not trying to get punished off of that double-digit mine.
No shimmy.
Nothing baited. Monarch tries to challenge the shimmy.
Yeah, it's looking real good at holding Gamera back. He's losing some ground, right?
Punish on the roll. Nice.
Be able to get around that crossover, forcing the BP usage from Gamera.
Oh, no. Dude, this is so much damage. It's gonna be like equal health by the time this thing's over, right? I think Beatrix, this Skybound art, like people tell me, you know, why does Beatrix's super do so much sometimes, and like her SBA actually does, like, you know, it does do more damage than normal. It does it's a 4,500 one, not a 4,000 one. Her SSBA, to me, it felt like the opposite. Like her SSBA always feels like it does so much damage, but I think it's only 6,000, right? It is like a normal, like lower class SSBA. Now, granted, the difference in SSBAs is not quite as big in the normal stratification, right? You have 6,000 raw, 6,000, or if you're not doing the technical input, right? 6,000 SSBAs and 6,240 SSBAs, so it's only a 240 difference versus a 500 difference in SBAs, right? 4,000 and 4,500, but
yeah, tripping Gamera up, which is allowing Monarch to get out of that corner.
Obviously, there are some exceptions, like Ladiva's doing like 7,500 with the 720, or Blade level 5 Lucilius, or stuff like that.
Not only a player like Gamera, but a character like Beatrix.
Exactly. So many ways to jump scare you from the full screen. So many ways to vary her approach. Keep you locked.
Are you dead?
15,000
health? Oh, okay. I'm not as good with like I'm more familiar with watching like higher health characters take damage, you know, like 18k stuff like that. But sometimes I do underestimate the 15k health characters sometimes.
Well, so both of these players have lost at least one game, and now Monarch has lost 2.
Yeah. Both of these titans.
So this still matters, right? Because this set basically determines who goes into winners and who goes into losers. And you definitely want your extra life in top 8, right? You also just have to lose, or you have to win so many fewer games to get the grands from winners, even if you're never going to lose a game. You win like 2 games of winners, you're there, right? Winners semis, winners finals, boom.
Well, yeah. When was the last time you saw a Beatrix player use that, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you're just not ready for it. I wonder if Monarch even.
So this set still this set matters a lot.
Not quite ready for it.
But I'm not sure that
But double butterfly, we EXDP through.
I'm not sure that
that's
the
best
Bepaw
part.
Xerom set is going to shift the needle.
Range,
Yeah.
right? So that
Which I don't think-
may
did
have
it already
been
happen?
else's Dragon Punch,
Maybe
but
I
not
could have sworn we haven't watched them fight yet. I don't
Not
think.
gonna stop me. Finds the L riding free off of the Sapphire Slash.
Yeah, just
Sapphire
shooting the fireballs
Slash.
whenever. Gamera's only pressing
Which
buttons
one's
when they're in
that?
5H range,
What the fuck
right?
is Sapphire
very,
Slash?
Very, very important. The ultimate skill is
Riding free is her the fireball Star Chaser.
Whoa.
There we go.
The DP is Embrask Swords. And the dive kick is Thunderbird, right?
Yep, and that -2 is going to stop Gamera from getting.
What's
anything
Sapphire
back, but
Slash?
Bepaw is going to help with
J2's
damage.
got
He's
he's got
so
moves I didn't even
into
heard
SBA.
before, man.
Yep. Find a little bit
It's
of
Riding
power
Free's
there.
follow up.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
you're
the
right.
is inevitable.
You're
That
right.
should be
Yeah.
on the
That's so true.
Remember that.
I think you're guessing for game here, right? I think command grab kills anytime Beatrix comes up to you. But yeah, he's not even taking. He's just waiting for a clock to come back. I see. Oh my! That's how that works. You can't even brave counter her when that shit's up. He could have gotten a conversion right there, but he missed it.
One more touch once again.
And you see these far
I did not know that. I mean, I guess that U butterfly explosion is active forever, right?
The fireball activation.
Dude, that was really clutch by Monarch. Goddamn.
Monarch, despite being behind right there, makes the comeback.
Staying alive.
I had no idea that worked that way. U butterfly, the explosion is active for so long that if you brave counter her on a move that she used that activates the butterfly, you still get crumpled. It didn't look like Monarch was able to convert off of that, but goddamn.
Trying to keep Gamera at bay while not giving up too much space. The 6XL.
Yeah, such a strong tool for Matera thanks to that far L being as far as it goes.
Yep.
But now the riding free is going to be able to get through. Gamera has pressure now, forcing the BC. And, you know, you're always going to get a guaranteed BC, but you're going to get guaranteed damage.
No butterfly.
No, the butterfly
Kind of fucks up the conversion.
Yeah, that great fall, unfortunately. Not
I guess maybe it was just a timing thing. Like, he would have wanted that 2H a little earlier.
Sends out the butterfly, only to get ultimate fireball, but UFB
Whoa!
right back at
Oh
him.
my, trade comp? Dude.
Yeah, the trade evidently in
Monarch also, again, this stuff like being ready for that trade combo and being the guy to press first there afterwards is really good. And wow.
Gamera had no PP left.
Was that
and
preemptive?
allowed for Monarch to hit
Is that a
there.
preemptive brave counter that just worked out? He looks like it. The way he's shaking his head like that.
Something we were not ready to confirm and ready to
All right,
time
man.
the set
This
back
is
up.
If Gamera
again
had
probably
the
this
counter,
next game
he would've done
determines
it, but
who goes into winners, who goes into losers, right?
he's
Big deal.
in the zone to be able to defeat Monarch.
I
Right?
need to understand my opponent.
Yeah.
A little bit
Interrupt on the
actually,
riding
no,
free.
because
Good
the full
stuff,
control off the
man.
butterfly, clean routing from
Matera
Monarch.
does have a nice 2M, right? But
Butterfly up on the EX right here.
that is
Riding
not
free
easy to
still
do,
able
to just
get
like
the
smack
lead
Beatrix out of riding
but
free
now
on reaction like
Gamera,
that.
Very stalwart in this decision making there defensively.
Yep.
Was able to make his way out, but not at a cost. Or with a cost, I should say.
A great cost. That 60% HP already down. Again, like you mentioned, you have to be careful about the spacing of the 2U, but of course Monarch's ready for it. So much of an HP lead here.
Sure. I mean, so much of an HP lead, but again, yeah,
Beatrix
Beatrix can turn that HP lead into nothing very quickly. No, you know,
UDP, a great fall in HP,
sometimes I hate to be so prophetic. You're like, dude, you're almost dead.
One of those away from Monarch. Monarch any single kill right now versus, and it's gonna be the low. Was maybe
My HP lead, man.
or something, but
The commentators told me I had an HP lead. Was I lied? Where did it go? I was supposed to. Excuse me.
Again, just showing the
I was supposed to have an HP lead.
character you can never count out, especially with that Delta clock in tow. But
Yeah, that was without clock, man. If he was a little bit lower on health, he had clock there. She was dead. He was gonna die from there, right?
Alright, looking for the throw tech here. EX Fireball.
Ooh, mash out.
Sometimes I watch, like, Monarch is playing this matchup so fucking well that I'm just like, wait, is this really as bad for, like, you know, Matera and the zoners as, like, the common knowledge would imply? And then, you know, shit like that happens. And so, yeah, no,
Nice
Spot
dodge
dodge,
right there to make
interesting.
sure they got rid of
Does-
away from the ultimate riding free. Punish on the Thunderbird.
you can punish that on block, right? Matera can too. That she should be able to 2L it, I think.
Send it with the ultimate butterfly. Again, such a big health lead. The H riding free just a tiny bit short.
Oh my
for
god,
that
look at the
detonation to
chip
pull up
from
Gamera.
that butterfly. All right.
The H arrow stops him in his tracks.
All right, final game, final rounds.
Final game, final round for
That's right.
right now.
That's right.
And especially after such a commanding first game, might be looking like a shutout, but Monarch brought it back. We have a set on our hands. That final round, the run-up.
Running past the butterfly. Yeah, I like switching up the tempo in the final game here. That's evil shit, right? Gamera's been saying this whole time adapting to a certain playstyle, and you just completely go ape shit in the last game. That's rude, but also it's good shit. Okay, riding free past the butterfly makes sense. Oh, no. Okay. He sent it. No butterfly though, right?
The only one that was unchanged.
No butterfly, so it's a little bit, you know, he's not dead, but this is so tough though. Again, I mean, Beatrix has clock now, right? Beatrix does have clock right now. I like the U there in case he riding free. The U arrow would have caught him. Yeah, I mean,
the Delta clock will prep you for mad damage all the way to the corner here.
This is a one touch, right? Beatrix kills you in a single hit here, no doubt. Especially now. You're dead. Oh my. All right. God damn. All right, so Gamera.
Overkill right there, and
yeah, he chose that. Like that was off of a pretty light conversion too, right? But yeah.
Can absolutely make a comeback. You can never count her out, despite the light.
It's okay, guys. He was weakened by the weakening of guard cancels. He's, you know.
To where that Delta clock was,
my lord,
to make sure that riding free was able to combo directly after.
All right, so that's probably Gamera going out, or not going out, but like
in this group.
He goes to winners, and I think, again, presumably, I don't think there's any world where Monarch isn't the person who makes it out through losers, right?
Gamera is going to be making it to that Sunday finals for sure. But,
yes.
You know, let's see where the rest of these gamers are headed. I mean, you know, just thinking about it, Monarch still able to take games even in these losses, right? So I would imagine pretty high towards the top of those leaderboards.
Yes, most definitely. But I mean, you know, we still have at least
Monarch should be at 5-2 right now, I think.
Exactly.
No, 5-3. 5-3. Right, so that's
it's got to be in high spirits. Got to be ready.
60% win rate. Yeah. 12.5 times 5.
That not only this group is not over, but we have more groups going. Gamera has to sit here, take as many notes as possible on the possible opponents.
Yes.
And I mean, hey, we're gonna see where we are in the score here. Seoul undefeated.
63. Am I stupid? Oh, because it's 12 and a. It's 12 and a half. It's 12 and a half times 5. Yeah. So again, I'm not sure that Xerom and Bepaw. One of them could get to 3-4, right? Yes, that's not enough. That's 42%.
Monarch just barely going to the 2-1, and then Xerom and Bepaw, they're going to be duking it out here for the final game. So yeah, you're going to see that game differential. It's I don't think we're going to have to worry about ties right now.
Yeah, exactly. So our last match is going to be Xerom versus Bepaw.
I will watch this. Why not? But like, I believe this is kind of.
Play at her pace, and
this is kind of fucked up, honestly. Like
Bepaw is no stranger to a.
I feel like.
Up on his own,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So I'm sure very well versed in that idea, but I mean, this is the Charlotte.
I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna look at chat in like 10 seconds here because I'm kind of curious. But like, this game doesn't do anything, right? Like, there's nothing.
Yes, definitely on a stage like this, you never.
Isn't this kind of? I feel like it's kind of mean.
Exactly.
These guys are basically like, they probably, if they're looking at the board, they are basically already out, and you're just sitting them down to play the first to run the set anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how the scoring system works, but this shit's kind of fucked up, right?
Yes, we have the up dog and the 2 H's.
This is the beef money match? Perhaps.
Very committal ways
is there glory rounds?
That leave you so vulnerable to these grounded
I will see.
You know, the Charlotte ball, or even just running up and taking that space.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw
graveyard match
in particular. This is Monarch, right?
Yeah.
We saw
the top 2 on the scoreboard go on, yeah, by win percentage apparently.
And I mean, it looks kind of good in terms of.
I think they get cash for up to 13th place, right? Oh, I suppose. Yeah, I guess.
Fairy's absolutely warmed up right now.
I guess that's fair. There should be. I think everyone gets cash, right? There should be 4 people tied for 13th.
That's Bepaw's character.
Yeah, exactly.
When you think Fairy, you think Bepaw.
I guess.
This is the first representative you think over here in NA. More folks, I think, picking her up by the day, but you know, this is the OG.
Yeah.
We'll watch the beef money match.
So it does look like Fairy is locked in. Okay, cool.
Let's see it.
I did look away for a second, but you know, thanks.
Basically playing for an extra 0 on that paycheck. I guess so.
Stage it is. I love it.
Exactly.
That's fair.
Now for our final match of Group A, Conmezone
still matters
versus Paragon's Bepaw, duking it out.
That's right. Group A's final match here, and the 6XL already with the pressure here, thanks to the noble strategy. Thanks to the 6XM as well.
It's a money match.
Triple attack M, but
we stand.
Okay, mashing out 2Ms on both sides. Obviously, Xerom's quite a bit more stubby, so Bepaw just trying to leverage
Yeah,
that
Charlotta
range.
2M versus Fairy Tara 2M.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to escape the corner because remember, it's really hard to just stop this
If
character.
I flew out to play Granblue and I could still play, I absolutely would. I'm going home anyway, might as well play on stage one more time since you flew all the way out here first to twos. That's fair. That's fair.
Ready for the ball with the UDP?
Yeah, that whiff was almost...
Hey, Bepaw got all the way through the LCQ on the bright side.
Just recovered in time.
All right. Spooky work. There we get the wall bounce off of the ultimate Hulu for the EX round.
Okay.
To set up the GG, the run up
I think it's in death, right? You got, you're pissing me off, Super? Yeah.
My orb real quick with another triple attack to seal
Yep.
You better be up pondering your orb, otherwise you are not going to be able to get any W's in this group.
Yep.
You better be up pondering your orb.
First round on this one. You know, in LCQ, he used Heinrichten a few times, so I'm kind of wondering if it's going to come out.
He did use the installs, true.
Something we really don't get to see too often, but the JL of that airborne hit, not going to get too much out of this corner.
Yeah, I mean, one of the coolest designs.
I still feel like people call the moves in Granblue by their actual move names way more than I would expect. Maybe because like originally they're not like fighting game moves or like moves from the gacha or something, right?
That is a character.
But people say again like the actual names for the moves or like the abbreviations of the names for the moves way more than they do like Fireball or like DP or something like that.
A moment ago, but that one anti-air has changed everything.
Yeah. And to believe that
with the exception of like maybe the Fiend Rock Knights or something.
Super jump, you know, it's something that you only get through that experience plus frames stopped in their tracks by UDP.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Destroyed, sent right back to Blender.
Yeah, I mean, why not use that Farrell?
Farrell.
It looks like it's trolling, but it's actually just incredible, right?
That's a great ass buck. Very good buck.
From Xerom, and that's going to be a lot of damage.
It's funny because Granblue players call them Skill 1, S1, etc. Interesting.
Through to round number 3, Xerom brings it back.
That's right. Going to be a close one. I mean, we were expecting this group to be the close one. It is.
Yep.
Charlotta's probably one of the characters who has the fewest like moves that people actually call by their name, right? It's because of how many references she has, it feels like, right?
From Xerom, far L's and preemptive anti-airs.
I feel like, yeah, like Honda Headbutt, Blanca Ball, right? I don't think anyone calls the slashes, like the Sword of Lumiel, I don't think anyone calls that shit 100-hand slap, even though it definitely is. But, Excalibur, right?
Put a GG between you and me. Stand on business. It's kind of hard to stand when you have to deal with these fairy normals, to be honest with you, though. So they got to keep the jump. The jump mark is usually
nice 2H.
But that was the perfect jump mark.
What the? Okay.
A couple really awkward ultimate skills. The detonation just going straight past that UDP side swapping to
Why
the
not?
Stream, and we are just dropping all the meter we can to try and get this first game. GG between you and me. I dare you to try and approach.
Air unblockable. Yes. Nice. Clean. Clean.
That it was in the air because grounded
very well done.
Are unblockable. Yep. And even with for the proper hit on
called the Harvin Blender. So Fireball DP, neutral skip, and the other Fireball.
Bepaw to take game number 1. That 6-6H was clean for the situational awareness.
I heard someone call it hands-on commentary. Me describing Voss moves is the best thing about talking about. I like the name of Rasuja's moves. I like how it sounds like she says Sam. To me, anyway, it sounds like she goes UL mode when she says Samsara. I always hear it as like Samsara. Like she just gets like a little drawl going, you know? Samsara. Ultimate up dog. I see that there are some really good nicknames though, yeah. The ultimate up dog.
Afterwards is scary. We're back in the Granblue zone now.
Plus, I mean, Fairy's move names are kind of silly, right? It's like go get 'em, GG, sick 'em, Bepaw. It's not even just like GG, Bepaw, etc. Shout out DP moment if that was Lucilius, it would have just worked. Very funny because like I hear like Lucilius players all talk all the time about like, hey, can our DP please not be ass?
Four different things right there from Xerom. The landing like you're talking about, the Indiana Jones is another, but also the dive kick, right? And any other button press, if it was none of those, would probably get clipped by the Skybound art as well.
Exactly.
Really good recognition.
Sniped out here off of the old up dog.
Parried it from full screen. I guess Straw doesn't get anything, right? Makes sense.
Try to use the Bepaw for the unblockable situation again, right? That's one of the scariest things when GG is on the ground is that anti-air situation and putting yourself in the unblockable. Bepaw got a lot of mileage that.
What the super jump straight up?
A lot of mileage off of this super neutral jump. Finds a punish. Maybe Bepaw.
What? Okay, she went so high. Command grab mid combo, broken ass Charlotta. I can't believe this.
Again, there is that just a barre out from Bepaw to stay away from the corner. Normally, this is one of the scariest positions, but Bepaw is fighting out as if this is like, you know, the job, right? This is the 9 to 5. I can get out of this corner, no problem.
Fighting out.
Far L, far L, far M, far H, far L.
Far M. Ooh, only to get caught up in that
never mind, he's dead.
The immediate
Take it all back. Oh, well, actually, yeah, there's not enough. Yeah, not enough meter for the Raging Chain, but yeah, works out anyway.
Maybe Bepaw wasn't ready and kind of forgot about it. Got hit after the wake up. Whatever the case may be. Yeah, no, it was not.
Those move names are great. Fluff him, stuff him, all his vanity, flock to the future and beyond, and over to the fence. Yeah. My favorite is UL saying Japanese move names in English with a southern accent. You gets it.
Yeah, try to be the optimization.
You gets it.
Still up in the scramble. You're up against the corner against Charlotta with 1 HP. What can you do? You can fight back in game number 3.
So I heard.
And fight back into Xerom with the first hit.
Get your big ass ears out of the way of the capture. Goddamn.
Trying to keep that pressure up right now, but again, Bepaw just
quick little money match.
If they do this every day, and I mean they do. You know, life of the zoner, right?
Fighting for your life. The life as a zoner again pushed back into the corner off of this ball.
Ow, ow.
He's going for the sweep. Yeah, the sweep used to be
the pushback on block's kind of tough, right?
For that kind of situation.
Xerom just keeps like running his pressure, gets him pushed out to the point where Fairy can fuck him up with the normals, and he can't really contest.
Amount of ways to escape. The hard knockdown into the super. Oh, and sniped up off of the L whip.
Yeah, it's gonna be able to get the side switch, and there's the 50-50. But hey, I didn't want to
get the shotgun. Those darn gophers are back. Yeah. Associate her wife from the wife insult.
Yeah, Raging Strike, Raging Chain wouldn't have killed, so just holding on to the meter for one more.
My nose is awfully congested today. You know, we had the pre-fell on like some power lines yesterday or something like that. So, like the central heating unit in the apartment building I live in just got fried, I guess. So that's why I'm all bundled up. It's fucking cold in here, man. We had some warmer days recently. Like we were supposed to get. I thought our 2 weeks of summer had begun, but I think, you know, the 2 weeks of summer, or not summer, spring that we get in Canada over here, they get kind of like spread out, I guess. We had 1 day of spring like a couple days ago, and now we're back to like, you know, below 0 temperatures. It's great.
Bepaw anti-airs have been insane, I gotta say.
Yeah, the 668 side swap as well, just waiting out.
Oh, okay, sure.
Tries to go for a hula on the way back down, only to get sniped by that dive kick.
2 girls sitting in the hot tub 10 feet away because they're not gay. Install is true. I've never seen someone called Grand Skills by their names, actually. True. I mean, I think it's, yeah, I think he's too Shoto adjacent, you know? No one's saying Reagan-Lev, you're just saying Fireball. No one's saying Rising Sword, you're just saying DP.
Oh, just close enough that the BC was actually in range. I think Bepaw was trying to avoid that, but not.
I've heard Overdrive Surge before. I've heard people call it Overdrive Surge, but like, yeah, usually, again, it's certainly, it's boot, right? It's also, that's just his boot.
There was no brave points. Xerom recognized it, and we are in final game, final round here of group.
Grand skills are kind of iconic, though, yeah, but like not necessarily for their names. Grand's names are really all default skills in Grand Blue except Rising Sword. Reagan-Lev.
See if Xerom can hold on.
I wonder if Bepaw may think differently about
Boot is shorter than Overdrive Surge, a superior name. That's fair. I also remember because Belial uses the mock versions of them.
Oh, he's got the extended hurt box.
Is that why Belial's 668 is just Grand Boot, but like better? Is death? I don't think so, right?
As soon as he finds his opportunity, the patience comes through. The link into the ultimate noble.
Yeah, it's not death, but yeah.
Yes, it's not looking great, and the BP has to get expended right here. That's
our
use the 50 meter.
Was that real because of the spacing?
You can actually match out in that situation normally. So use the invincibility. Oh no!
Well, you can't even DP there, right? Because you're -6. It's basically a punish. But I wonder if it was just that. It was just that maybe Charlotta's far L wouldn't have reached there. I'm curious. Belial even says Overdrive burst when he does it. Yeah. It's actually Belial boots to mock Grand. Yeah.
We now have set standings.
Watch us be yelling everything, and I love it.
3 and 4 for this group.
Kill yourself.
See that in just a second, but what an amazing.
All right, so yeah, so I think that is with the money match settled. That is Gamera and Monarch, yeah, making it out.
Monarch there in second, Xerom taking third, and
Xerom third, Bepaw at fourth. Sure. All right.
There are more groups to come.
Good groupathon. Let's keep going here.